attached to massive high-speed databases. Now, I know that earlier today or over the past 24 hours, there have been talks here saying, yeah, you can hide from facial recognition databases, and you can opt out, and you can do this, and no, you can't. No, you can't. You can't, period. I'm going to show you. I have great respect for the speaker that was talking earlier today about facial recognition and how you can dodge the governmental databases and the DL databases. You can't. You absolutely can't. I'm an investigator. I've been doing this for 25 years. I do a lot of work with law enforcement. These guys are former law enforcement and special agents and state cops, and they're PIs forever. You can ask us all about it. You can't. Another thing is ridiculously accurate precision target marketing. The name of the game here, guys, is not that there's people out there that are Big Brother that want to invade your privacy. They want to sell you stuff. This is all about money. It's not nefarious. It's not sinister. This is all an attempted engine of capitalism. That's it. They want to sell you stuff. They want to know everything about you so they can sell you stuff. And it results in you each getting a digital proctology exam. There's no escape from it. But it's not a sinister motive. They want to sell you stuff. They want to own your eyeballs. We're going to talk about augmented reality. We're going to talk about it a little bit with actual augmented reality, but we're going to talk about other things like Google goggles. I don't know how many of you are familiar with that. We're going to talk about that. Everybody wants to know what your cell phone sees. So they're encouraging you to use it for things like barcode scanning, visual recognition of things like paintings, and augmented reality. They want to know that you're in New York and you're at the Empire State Building, not just from OCR and not just from your purchases and not just from you buying a ticket through your cell phone, but because you've taken a photo of a building and you've used augmented reality to ID that building. And again, it's all about money. Data storage costs. Somebody sent this to me about 2 months ago. This is a no-lie ad. I don't know if you can see this. $3,400 for a 10 meg drive. This is in my lifetime, folks. I can go down to the lowest form of life, a Staples tech salesman. And I can say, give me your biggest disc. And for $160, I can walk out of there with a 2 terabyte disc. I can tell you when I started as an investigator, there wasn't 2 terabytes of investigative data in the country. That's a fact. This was the reality, not just when I started, but well into my career. The main thing that's changed, one of the main things that's changed, there's no erasing, there's no deleting, there's no forgetting. Everything you've ever done, every stupid photo, every ranting, troll-like blog post, every drunken text message, everything is saved forever. Forever. It's saved, and it's not just saved, it's indexed and it's cross-referenced and it's tied to your name forever. You don't believe it? Come by the table later and I'll show you. I mean, yeah, baby, right? You know, there's just too much to say about this, and I don't have time. And this isn't only done by the government. Everybody is familiar with archive.org and the memory hole and the Wayback Machine and Google caching and every effort by everybody to save everything. You do it because, first of all, if you throw something away, you don't know if you're going to need it a year from now. And it's not like stacking up stuff in your office. You just leave it on the hard drive, and every month or every week or every hour, an automatic text search program runs and indexes every damn thing. I mean, and this is the dumb version of that, where you have to actually go back and click on something. Believe me, in my world, everything is saved forever. You give me your social security number, I will give you back 42 years of your address history. 42 years of your address history. You give me any phone number, I can run an archive phone search. I've got 45 years of phone listings. Because it's useful to me. If I do a cold case, I want to know whose phone number this was 20 years ago. I want to know who lived in this building 30 years ago. It's useful, and again, it's worth money. I need it, I want it, it helps me do cases, I can sell it to other investigators, I can sell it to law enforcement, it's worth money, and I can go to Staples and buy a 2 terabyte disk for $169. What do I have to throw anything away for? Now, by the way, the US government got into this saving data forever business a little too late, so now they're hitting everybody with subpoenas. This is a subpoena to archive.org. We want all your stuff on this guy. Even Mr. Spock gets it. Even President Obama. Whatever you do, it will be pulled up again somewhere in your life. Spock is right. It will be. Now, here's the biggest thing that's changed. This is number one point of this talk. There is no privacy anymore. There's no shame. There's no desire for anonymity. The people in this room and everybody else on the planet publicly post everything. You put up your name, your address, your phone number, where you go to school, where you work, who your friends are, your sexual orientation, what you did last night, what you did last week. More information than anybody really needs to know, you put it up there. Now, you know, I'm sort of schizophrenic when I get up at the Hope Convention and I talk about this. Many of you are my friends. The rest of you are probably my colleagues. Some of you are, I don't really want to know, but most of you are either friends or colleagues or people I've met over the years. Probably a solid 20% of this room I know, well. So I've got to say, as your friend, what the hell are you thinking? On the other hand, as an investigator, I've got to say, thank you, really. I mean, I am so appreciative. You make my job so much easier that I can be sitting in my boxer shorts at 2 o'clock in the morning and find out everywhere you've ever lived, everywhere you've ever worked, 20 of your photos, who your current girlfriend is, your wife's name, and so on and so forth. I mean, thank you, but you're idiots. Stop it. Let me give you an example. I put this up every time that I give a talk. Here is this guy, Jay Sav. Now, by the way, if you look back at some of the old videos of the talks I've given at Hope, you will see we're talking about stuff before it's even in the public consciousness. We were talking about Twitter 4 years ago. Twitter is now in the Library of Congress. Every tweet has been turned over to the Library of Congress. You think your tweets have disappeared? I can tell you that when I do a criminal investigation, I hit LOC with a subpoena for all your tweets. Every tweet you've ever done. Guys, listen carefully. Nothing you put on the web anywhere, not a tweet, not a blog, not an SMS, not a web page, not a web page that you delete 15 seconds later, nothing. Once you put it up there, it's gone, it's sucked into a system, it's indexed, it's cross-referenced to you, and I can get it. And you cannot get the genie back in the bottle. If you don't want somebody to read that 6 months from now, don't put it up ever. Look at this guy. Eating pizza, going to work, watching TV, cleaning his room. I mean, his hour-by-hour activities. Now, I can tell you, my own mother doesn't want that much detail about my life. The only people that want that much detail about my life are in the New York field office of the FBI. But I mean, this is typical now. Everything you do, going out for pizza, watching a movie. Just finish watching the movie, it was okay. At Bob's Bar and Grill, bumped into Fred. Listen, if I'm investigating you and I want to know what you were doing on a given day, thank you very much. And by the way, guys, you can't predict the future. You don't know if these posts are going to bite you in the ass tomorrow because of what happens a few hours from now. You put this on Twitter, it's there forever. And by the way, people are constantly sucking down Twitter. All of these people following your Twitter feed, half of them you don't know who they are. Let me tell you who those people are. They're marketers, they're investigators, and they're law enforcement. I'm one of them. I own peoplefinder.net. I suck down every MySpace page, every Facebook page, every Twitter feed. Hey, you may get smart and delete it. You can't. And by the way, here's the components of a Twitter feed. You think it's just 140 characters? No, no, no. It's your IP address, it's your geographic location, it's how long you've been a Twitter member. I mean, there's 34, 37 data components to every Twitter feed. You think it's just, you know what? Whoever that is, shut up. Don't do that again. I'm a sweet, lovable guy, but I don't appreciate it. Is that okay? All right. Let's talk about Twitter a little more. All tweets from the date Twitter started are now at the Library of Congress. They are public record. Twitter is now interoperable with Facebook, which is like huge privacy invader, moderate privacy invader. Hey, let's get together and be a mega privacy invader. Every freaking tweet, if you're stupid enough and press the wrong button, is on your Facebook page. This isn't news to anybody in this room, but think about it. Micro-targeting of Twitter. Now, here's something called, I think it's called 140 Proof. Yeah. There's an outfit called 140 Proof. You contact them. You tell them, I want to sell products to senior citizen Chinese grandmothers in Ames, Iowa. They will look through their Twitter database and say, we have 500 people we think that you should market to. They can micro-target to Twitter because they do what I do, what law enforcement does, what everybody else does. They gobble up your Twitter feed. Now, here's sort of a crooked version of that. It's called followers for sale. It's probably somebody in this room, I wouldn't be surprised. For $24.97, you get a batch of followers that fit your criteria. You just pay them by PayPal. It goes probably into PayPal somewhere in Minsk, I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but hey, Twitter is not private. Let me give you a ridiculous example of how the concept of what gets put on the web has changed. There's a guy by the name of Hassan Elahi. I put this up in 2008. It bears repeating. Hassan Elahi was being harassed like mad by the FBI. They really thought he was some kind of terrorist, a terrorist supporter, or sympathizer, or something. And he was really afraid they were going to swoop him up and send him off to Guantanamo because he couldn't prove what he was doing. Well, he put up a website called Tracking Transients. Every hour, he takes his cell phone, he takes a picture where he is, he puts a caption on it, and he uploads it to his website. His entire life is on the web. Of course, the FBI is now screwed, which is his intent. For me, this is bizarre. I wouldn't even think of it. But if you post where you are every hour to Twitter, if you update your Facebook feed, if you are constantly SMSing, this isn't outside the norm. This is the new norm. Here, for example, present location on Friday, the 27th of June. He puts up the map grid, the GPS coordinates, the photo, and everything he was doing. You know, and by the way, if Twitter's not enough for you, there's Utters, there's Quick. You can upload photos, you can upload a live video feed, you can basically have your